Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. I'm here to give you my review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Reunion Part 1. Okay, this reunion, I feel like they're going to save the heavy, of course, they're going to save the heavy stuff for later. Like, hey Andrew, like, I feel like we're going to get the Mexico and the Miami trip later. We really, the way Andy has went in on Ashley and Candiace part 1, I need him to equally go in on Mia and Robin, Giselle, all the other ladies when we get to this Miami trip. And I'm sure we'll get to Karen versus Sharice and other times. Look, I don't have too much to say about part 1. I'm going to give y'all a quick review. If you want to see me cut up a little bit more tonight at 9:35 Central, I will be on Kamisha Reviews for the panel. The panel will all get together and talk about the reunion part 1 tonight as well. So up first, the first thing that caught my attention was Andy talking about Candiace's dress. Reminded him of Cookie Monster. Andy, of all the dresses that have been atrocious on your Potomac reunions, Candiace is the one you want to call out. Now, I have changed my mind as far as some of the looks. I know I did a video going over the Potomac reunion looks, and my favorite was Karen's. Karen, you have now moved out of my favorite because your mesh was gathering and it looked like this. It looked like it wasn't flesh to the skin like this, where it just looks like skin. It was gathering and it was pulling, and I didn't like that the illusion was no longer there. The dress looks beautiful standing, but sitting, Karen, I didn't like that the illusion was gone. I agree, Andrew. Andy does not like Candiace, and it's very clear that they don't like each other. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I tried to wear blue because I knew I was doing the panel tonight with Kamisha. So I think for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to try to wear blue and glam it up for the reunion so I can kind of match the reunion vibe. Good times. But anyway, my favorite dress sitting will be Candiace's. I don't like Candiace's dress standing because the feathers look very patchy, like they were just thrown on an afterthought, kind of like, oh, the color is blue, let's throw some blue feathers on this new dress. Like, but sitting, Candiace looks amazing. You can tell some people's makeup is starting to sweat. Giselle's hair just looks so cheap. Girl, your bang and your bun and your leave out are all 3 different colors. Like, Giselle never gets it together. I did like Ashley's look, but I can't get over her bob. So far, Wendy has the best hair and makeup, period. But I can't get over the peacock feather coming up the face. It's starting to look like a miss. It's starting to look like a miss. And the whole time, Mia is digging in her bra, fixing her nipples. And I'm like, we aren't going to wait till Andy calls break to adjust our nipples? I mean, is that what Mia does when she's nervous or lying? Because the whole time she was digging in her dress, adjusting her breast, and it that bothered me. But anyway, let's get into what Andy was talking about. Let's start with Ashley. I would say poor thing, but girl, you spent how many years? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years with this man to leave with nothing. Let me tell you something, Michael Darby. You ain't ish, because I'm trying not to curse. You're not ish, Michael, but you need to drop the name of your lawyer who did your prenup so you can help some of these athletes and other entertainers out, because all of them are giving up half. Michael's prenup says, and I ain't got no legal degree, so I don't know how true this is, but because he made the majority of his wealth before he met Ashley, of course, she can't touch any of that. But because he invests in new projects with the money that he made before he met Ashley. Ashley is not entitled to any of the money that Michael has made off of investments that were initiated by his previous cash, which means he ain't really doing he in his retirement stage. All of his investments are previous cash. Girl, you gold digging wrong. Ashley, you're gold digging wrong. And ladies, I'm not a hater. I don't mind a lady doing what she got to do to get to where she has to go. Using a man for the come up, whatever, city girls getting flued out, all of that is cute, whatever. I'm not going to judge you for it. But always have a plan for when this man no longer wants to be fooled with you. Because I just live by the standard of always having your own. I'll never want to be caught in a situation where I can't live the lifestyle that I want to live because I got to put up with some man to have it. No. I'm always going to preach, ladies, have your own, because when you have your own, you ain't got to do nothing strange for a piece of change. You ain't got to worry about being dropped off at the curb when you no longer want to hit up threesomes and foursomes and whatever else your man is interested in. And you can always put a roof over your head. Now, actually, I'm going to check you right here. A $13,000 house a month, $13,000 a month. You can't afford that. I would never buy a house with my children with the man I'm divorcing, because as soon as you make him mad, and you already see how Michael treats the children that are already grown, they don't fool with them. What makes you think you special? What makes you think Dylan and Dean are special or more special than them other children? I feel like you're going to have a lot more heartbreak to come because you want to sit up in some $2-3 million house when you could have got you a cute little $500,000 3-bedroom house, still could have had a cute little pool in the back, whatever. But you want to be like, oh, I'm in this too. And I already told you, your house don't even look like $2 million. Candiace's house look better than yours. But anyway, it is Ashley's karma. It's karma for not having your own. Because you got up here, and I liked how, I don't know who asked the question. Andy is shady because you can't tell me Andy does not read these questions before he asked them at the reunion. Him reading that question to Ashley was not his first time talking about, oh, that's mean. Please, you picked the question because it was mean. Right, she want to keep up with the Joneses, but Ashley, sometimes I'm not divorcing a man and having him buy me a house and he still got the key to it. Michael still has access to your life. And you talk about, oh, you got to call first and you got to give me an hour's notice. An hour ain't shit. You need to give me a day's notice. I'm coming over to see the kids tomorrow. An hour? Ashley, you sound foolish. And then everybody all on the internet, and Candiace was like, oh, Mia, she looked really dumb. Now, Mia, you did have a moment of dumbness. But to me, Ashley looked the biggest fool on the stage. You sat up with this grumpy old man who was slapping asses on camera, having affairs, pictures leaked all over the internet. He has embarrassed you, Ashley. Embarrassed you. And all you walking away is with some child support. In a house that you got to get on your knees every night and pray he don't snatch up from up under you. You sound like a fool. A huge fool, Ashley. And I want to know what other businesses you got. You talking about I'm accomplished in my own right. At what? You couldn't even accomplish gold digging correctly. You couldn't even gold dig right. What have you accomplished? I guess, but that's it with Ashley. Let's move over to Mia. Mia, trying to explain her businesses. Now, look, I know I do have an accounting brain, and I did have to take business 101 and business law and all of that. But that was about 15 years ago. I done forgot. What Mia was saying on this stage didn't make any sense to me. Now, I done just watched all the seasons of Succession. I love that show. Charles got me into watching Succession. I ain't never seen when the family was trying to take over and boot the daddy out. It don't matter how many shares you got to have the right formula of shares to be greater. And if you and Gordon have majority shares, it's no way the people can vote you out. I ain't never seen a board where it's 8 board members. And see, I just watch Riches too. And see, it didn't go down like that. They had to have the right combination of votes, the right combination. Because I can have 40 shares, 40%, and all I need is 2 other people with 10%, and all the other 8 and whatever percent they got, who give a damn? We got majority of the shares over here. So I don't understand why you have a board of 8 and everybody has an equal vote, but you have majority ownership. It doesn't make sense to me. But hey, I'm going to give it to Mia was lying. Because Mia always lies. I think maybe, and I feel like what's the child name? Jacqueline. When Jacqueline comes out, Jacqueline might have more light, make it make sense. But I feel like this was a family company. And even though Giselle, you shouldn't have said it, I believe what Giselle says. I think one day, Giselle, your sauce, how you like to sprinkle sauce on the stories, is going to write a check that your ass can't cash. I think one day you're going to get sued for saying too much with your sauce. I think you need to stick to facts. You talking about it's Housewives 101. She said that she believes the family fired Mia because they were embezzling money from the company to put on this house that they were renting in Potomac. I could believe it. Mia just gives me the type of housewife where anything for clout, anything to be on the show, anything to make myself be opulent and feel like I have this greater than grand lifestyle. I feel like it's a family business. I don't know how many brothers Gordon has, but I'm thinking each brother had an equal share. Because there's no way for somebody to kick you out of something that you have majority ownership of. It just doesn't make business sense. Mia double talk today because for the past 2 seasons, she's the CEO. I'm running things at the Joint Chiropractic, whatever the thing is called. But today on the reunion, well, I watched it today. On the reunion, she said she was the marketing director, which allowed her to have a $40K a month salary. Now, which one is it? You was the CEO or the marketing director? Because usually those positions don't cross. If you're the CEO, you over everything. Which one? Now, mind you, I don't want to call Mia dumb, but I don't think she's smart. And I don't know anyone who would take a stripper off of the pole and put them as CEO of their family company. I feel like Gordon just gave Mia a title maybe the title marketing director. I could see a stripper uploading a couple of pictures on the gram and doing a little bit of social marketing. I could see that. I think Jordan and the family was like, okay, that's your wife. She can be over the marketing, do this. And then she got on the show and started lying. I don't know. I just don't, I wouldn't trust her with my business. I wouldn't. But Mia lies so much, we'll probably never know the truth. But again, I feel like Ashley looked a bigger fool than Mia, if you ask me. They touched on her health. Look, this is what happens when you lie, Mia. This is what happens when you put 20 on 10. You got up here on social media making you never said you had cancer, but you alluded to having cancer. You got on the show talking about all these bumps and lumps and whatever else. And we don't want anything bad to happen to your health. But this is why you should keep shit to yourself until you know what it is. Because I feel like you put 20 on 10 for sympathy, and now at the final episode, you talking about you had a rash. And now you at the reunion and you don't know how to lie your way out of it. Just Mia, pick up the Marlo Hampton manual, come to the reunion and just apologize for everything. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said I had cancer. You just have to apologize. And that way, when people start coming at you, they can't really do nothing because you apologizing. Now, they did check Wendy for her hot mic moment, but I'm like, that's the worst y'all got on Wendy is the hot mic moment when everybody was saying Mia was lying. Wendy, you did have to answer for that. And I'm happy you didn't stick to that original story you told on Twitter and Instagram. I remember the original where you were like, oh, I wasn't talking about Mia. I said Robin was lying because she didn't invite my children to the park. And I was so upset about Robin. I remember what you originally said. I'm happy Twitter dragged you a little bit and you just came back to the reunion and said, we all said she was lying because we wasn't going to buy that Robin story, girl. Okay. I feel like the last person was a little bit of Giselle and Candiace, and I feel like Candiace is the MVP of this reunion, her and her vocabulary. It's a lot of words that Candiace spit out on that stage that I still need to Google and look up. But see, I'm a context vocab person. I understood what the word meant because of the nature of the read that she was presenting to Giselle and Ashley. So I would have failed it on the spelling test, but Candiace gave me the context, so I kind of knew where she was going. Candiace, your vocabulary is amazing. You guys wanted to nine. I can't even say all the words Candiace was saying. I'm an accountant. Numbers are my friends. But I loved it. I loved it, Candiace. You check Giselle real quick. Sorry, y'all. I go to the doctor tomorrow. I'm so happy. You check Giselle real quick with that apology. Look, Chris Bassett, I told you. I don't know what review video I said it in, but I told you, Chris, don't ever apologize to Giselle for this bullshit. Because as soon as you apologize, all she had to see was the I'm sorry. She ain't read nothing else you put in that DM but the I'm sorry. And now Giselle feels validated by what she did because you apologized. You should have never, ever apologized to her because you did nothing wrong. I agree with Andy. This ain't the 1800s. You could be in a room with a man. And Robin. Now see, Robin, I want to call you dumb, but you smart. You knew not to release anything about this Canadian woman before the reunion. I understand why you waited to after the show because, oh, it would have been no part of you left at the reunion if these ladies would have known the bullshit you was talking about, credit cards, and uh, it would have been no part of you left. Each lady would have took a limb and dragged you across that stage until there was no piece of fake blonde extension left in your hair, Robin. The audacity of you, whose husband, even if we believed it, met a woman on Instagram and felt so bad for her, he dropped his credit card off at a room. How dare you fix your lips to say it does seem wrong? Can't we just admit that husbands shouldn't be in rooms with women at hotels? Well, what was Juan doing? What was Juan doing? And you were the fool to marry the man after he did all the bullshit at the hotel with the Canadian woman. Look, Robin, and I know how, and she was on a little podcast. I ain't listened to it. You know, I just listened to the snippets. I know this lady didn't DM anybody outside of Giselle because I guarantee you they would have let fire on your ass if they would have seen your husband put his credit card down on a hotel room for some Canadian woman. So miss me with, oh, I thought all the ladies knew and I just was waiting for them to bring it up. No, none of them ladies knew. Karen might have knew a piece. But I don't think Karen got all the receipts that Giselle had. None of them ladies knew because they would have dragged you. And you knowing Juan was, and of course Juan was at work. Of course he was at work. Girl, we know Juan ain't really got no job. We know he ain't but 2 seconds away from being fired from Coppin State University for the and I hope somebody bring that shit up. I hope y'all, the dragging that Rob, see, that's why Angie can't be on reality TV. Because y'all ladies do nothing but take the ammunition that y'all find out about other people and their husbands and y'all let off shots. Y'all other ladies are too classy. Candiace, Wendy, y'all way too classy. I would be firing shots off at Robin. Firing. But of course Juan is at work. Of course he is. He has to work for as long as he can because he knows as soon as this shit goes to court and this university has to throw somebody under the bus, Juan is the first one to be fired and thrown under the bus. But okay, let's move on. What else happened? Oh, Giselle offers an apology because Candiace lets her know, look, it ain't got nothing to do with Chris being in the room. It's the million stories you told to everybody that would listen about how he was a sneaky link and how he was trying to see if you was with it. And then just, oh yeah, for that I apologize. No, bitch, you ain't sorry. See, Giselle and Marlo are friends because see, that's what Marlo does. As soon as somebody calls her out and she feels like, oh, I might be in the wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can shove that apology up that ugly ass dress. Matter of fact, shove that apology under that synthetic ass bun sitting on top of your head. That's where you can put that apology. Under that trash ass weave you have sitting up under your head. That's what I would have told Giselle in her apology. And I can't wait for Chris to come out and cuss these ladies out because they deserve it. And we just hit on Chris. Damn near every lady on that show had a story. Mia was out there lying saying Chris was staring at him. Ashley talking about he was in the DMs. Then the friend was like, oh, see, we better circle back around to this part 2 because Candiace got more shots to get off. Way more. But anyway, that was Giselle's moment. And then we got into the generational wealth comment. And I really appreciate Candiace for saying that, like, you trying to get the money up out of Michael now so you talking about what my mama did for me, but look at the old balls you had to squeeze and play with, and you still ain't got nothing. Look, let me tell you something. When they were seasons ago when they were making fun of Candiace for her mom helping her out, I never understood that. And I felt like the only people who want to make Candiace feel bad for accepting help from her mother are people whose parents can't afford to do it for you. And that's it. It wasn't that they were upset, they were jealous. And here go Ashley. At 30 years old, I can guarantee you Dean and Dylan will be paying their own mortgage. Yeah. Because Michael ain't going, the child support gonna run out by the time they 30 years old. They probably gonna be having to help pay for your damn mortgage, Ashley. Because you don't have any generational wealth for them. You probably got your fingers crossed that Michael inked them kids in on his will. Because see, Michael is hateful and mean enough, he might have left all that damn money to a dog or charity somewhere. Rich people do it all the time. Just because your daddy and your mama rich, when they die, the money is not guaranteed to go to you. They can leave that money to whoever they want to. So Ashley just over there fingers crossing. I hope they get a job so they can take care of me. Shut up, Ashley. Don't let, because that's the same thing. Look at, ain't nobody say nothing to Jamal Bryant when he showed up on the show giving his girls a restaurant that's now closed. But anyway, he was giving his daughters generational wealth by buying partnership of a restaurant for them. Ain't nobody say, oh, y'all ain't go out and buy the restaurant for y'all self. Like, y'all sound dumb. That's what every parent wants to be able to do, is to make enough money, to have a legacy, to have something that they can leave to their children so their children don't have to work as hard as them. And if that's not your goal as a parent, something might be wrong with you. Everybody should want to leave something for their children to be in a better place, to have an easier time than the struggle you had to go through. And the only people who are jealous of generational wealth are the peoples whose parents don't have no wealth to pass down to them. And for that, I feel bad for you. I agree, Andrew. At least Candiace's mom supports her, because see, I'll tell a little bit of my personal business. Like, when I got married, my mother, like, my wedding was not cheap. And my mother came in and she probably paid a good 75% of my wedding. But that's something she wanted to do. And because my mother paid for the wedding, when it was time for me and my husband to buy a house together, because my husband did already have a home, but we want a bigger house together, my in-laws said, well, look, your mother paid for the wedding, we're going to pay for the down payment for y'all house so y'all could be set up, y'all future together. If it wasn't for my in-laws coming in and help, because we didn't have that kind of money saved. We talked about $15,000 to $20,000. We didn't have $15,000 to $20,000 sitting in the bank. We didn't just spend all of our money on this wedding, which, if I think back on, I wouldn't have done. But anyway, no, I would have still got married, but I probably wouldn't have had the big wedding. That's what I'm saying. Still want to be married. But it's a blessing that his family is able to be like, we want to help put y'all in the house. We could have stayed in that little, we quit talking about my husband's house. We could have stayed in the house that we originally had, which was much smaller than the house we have now. But it was a blessing that his family had that kind of wealth to be able to give us, to help us get into something bigger. And I feel like you shouldn't be jealous of that. Like, that's something you should want to do. Like, one day when my son gets married, I want to be able to put some stacks on his wedding. I want to be able to put some stacks on him to be able to get a house to start his family. That's what you should want to do for your children. So I never understood why they hated on that. Yep, of course. Ashley wished she had some. That's why she was sitting up on Michael. And I don't understand. You ain't have Nan lawyer look at the prenup, girl. And when did you resign? Like, oh, Michael cheated on me, so I had him re-up. We re-up the prenup. What you re-up, girl? It sounded like you made it worse for yourself. Ashley was sticking around with Michael, and she re-signed that prenup with Michael because she knew she wasn't entitled to nothing. But she knew she was going to squeeze a couple of babies out of him because she wasn't going to leave with nothing. And you can't tell me no different. She said he at least going to give me some child support. Something. Ashley's going to make sure her kids are set up, but mad that Candiace's parents made sure she was set up. Seems like envy. It's jealousy. Even Ashley's mom slept in a tent and Ashley tried to get her out of it. I don't know why ain't nobody threw that in Ashley's face. Because, ooh, you talking about my mama. I was like, at least she ain't up under a tent under a bridge. Why you worried about my mama? All that butter knife talking. Go get your mama from under the bridge. Why you worried about what house my mama got me in? Go pay the house note for your mama. But see, they too nice. They too nice. They like classy reads. It couldn't have been Atlanta. They would never do that in Atlanta. Oh, your mama would be all kind of bums over there in Atlanta. Robin should be silent this entire reunion. Robin shouldn't have even showed up. But you know she got a house to pay for. She need her check. Robin, it's time for you to take your cape off for Giselle. Let Giselle fight her own battles. Because I guarantee you, when it's your turn to be red, Giselle will be nowhere to be found. Nowhere. But anyway, you all, that's all I got to give on part one. I really want to see how they're going to come out of this Miami drink throwing, purse throwing, phone throwing situation. Robin recording it, everyone icing out of Wendy when Wendy was the victim. I really want to see what the light-skinned gang are going to say about that. That's what I want to see. I really don't care too much about Mexico because I don't believe anything Sharice says about Karen. And even if it is true, I love Karen. Ho on, Karen. Ho on. Anyway, let me get off of here. Again, I'm going to go cut up with Kamisha at 9:35. Catch us over there. I'm about to go run and grab something to eat. So I'll be back. But again, 9:35. That's in what, 3 hours? 7, 8, yeah, 3 hours. Catch me over on Kamisha Reviews with the panel. I don't know if Confessions will be there, but I don't even know if Dina's going to be there. But Maud, Kamisha, Erica, all of us will be over there cutting up, going over Reunion Part 1, 9:35. I'll see you over there. If not, I'll see you next week for Reunion Part 2. Have a good one, y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Talk to you later. Bye.